Welcome. In this explainer, we're going to delve into the profound meanings of the 6th and 7th verses of Surah Al-Baqarah based on the insightful exegesis of Sayyid Mahdi al-Husseini al-Shirazi. All right, so let's get right into it. We'll start by looking at the verse that really sets the stage for our entire discussion. It's a statement that, on the surface, seems to shut the door to guidance for certain people. Now, this verse is incredibly direct. It makes a very powerful and, seemingly final declaration about a specific group of people. It suggests that for some individuals, any attempt to warn them or guide them is just pointless. It's a very heavy statement, and it immediately brings up some deep and important questions. Right away, this forces us to think about a central theological question. What's the balance between our own free will and God's divine knowledge? I mean, if someone's fate is already sealed, then what's the whole point of the warning in the first place? Well, the key to unlocking this, as we're about to see, is found by going deeper into the meaning of the words themselves. Okay, so to really get to the heart of this, we need to unpack that word, disbelieve, or in Arabic, kufr. It's not just a simple, flat term, it has layers of meaning. And understanding those layers is absolutely essential for grasping what this verse is truly about. And this is where it gets really interesting. The original Arabic language gives us a massive clue. The root of the word kufr doesn't just mean a lack of belief. Its core meaning is to cover or to conceal. So picture someone who knows the truth but actively chooses to hide it, to cover it up. That action is the very essence of the word. And this leads us to the critical distinction that the exegesis highlights. There are two very different kinds of disbelief. On one hand, you have disbelief that comes from simple ignorance. Someone just doesn't know any better because the message hasn't reached them. But then there's a completely different type, a disbelief born from stubbornness. This is about knowing the truth deep down and then willfully choosing to reject it. And it's that second group that verse 6 is talking about. And the Quran itself paints this incredibly vivid picture of that internal struggle. This verse describes people who reject the truth outwardly, even while their own hearts are certain of it. It's a really powerful image of that conflict between inner certainty and outward denial. So, this is what really brings everything into focus. That finality in the verse we read, it's not a blanket condemnation of everyone who doesn't believe. It's directed specifically at those who have consciously and stubbornly shut themselves off from the truth. And we see the proof of this in history. Think about it. Many of the Prophet's closest companions were at one point disbelievers. So what was the difference? Their disbelief came from a place of ignorance, not stubbornness. As soon as the truth reached them, their hearts were open and they accepted it. So what happens when someone continues down that path of willful rejection? Well, the very next verse dives into the spiritual consequence of making that choice day after day. Now, this verse uses some really striking imagery to describe the spiritual condition of these obstinate disbelievers. It talks about a seal that God places upon them, an action that directly affects their ability to perceive truth through their most essential faculties, their hearts, their hearing, and their sight. This brings us to a really crucial question. What exactly is this seal? Is it some arbitrary act where God just decides to take away a person's free will and their ability to be guided? Or is there something more profound going on here? And the Quran itself gives us the answer directly. It's so important to notice the cause and effect in this verse. The seal is not the cause of their disbelief, it's the result of it. The text is explicit. God has sealed them because of their disbelief. It's a divine response to the choices they've already made. And this understanding is beautifully reinforced by this profound statement from Imam al-Rida, peace be upon him. He defines the seal, al-Khatam, as a recompense. It's not a punishment out of nowhere, it's the just and natural consequence for persistently rejecting the truth. So, let's be absolutely clear. This is not about God taking away someone's free will. The door to guidance is never slammed shut and locked forever. It's more like a natural consequence. Through their own persistent choices, they've made the path to truth incredibly difficult for themselves, almost like trying to see through a window they've spent years covering in mud. So what does this seal actually look like in practice? What are the tangible effects on a person? Well, the verse describes a kind of spiritual shutdown, impacting all the ways a person might receive guidance. The exegesis describes this as a comprehensive blockage of all the spiritual senses. Their hearts are sealed off, so the light of faith can't get in. They can physically hear the words of guidance, but the truth within them doesn't register. It's a kind of spiritual deafness. And a veil covers their vision, so while they see the physical world just fine, they are completely blind to the signs of God that are all around them.
And this principle isn't just mentioned once. We see it echoed elsewhere in the Qur'an. This verse makes a direct link between turning away from God's message and the consequences that follow, a constricted life here in this world and a state of spiritual blindness in the hereafter. It's a very clear cause and effect relationship.
So, after exploring these two incredibly profound verses, what is the single most important message we should be taking away from this entire explanation? If there's one central idea to hold on to, it's this: accountability. The spiritual state of being sealed is not something that is forced on a person. It's the direct result of human choice. It's the consequence that follows the willful, persistent rejection of a truth that, deep down, a person already recognizes. And that leaves us with one final and perhaps most crucial question to reflect on for ourselves. If we know that stubbornness and arrogance can lead to a sealed heart, then what's the antidote? The answer has to lie in the opposite qualities, in humility, in sincerity, and in making a constant effort to keep our own hearts open to receiving the truth, no matter where we might find it.